the last feature, many other Richard Gone. Prior to now, Pozna Komitsa. So anyway, hello everybody. I'm Richard Gone of Work to Live podcast version. So this time, so as I hear, I greeted using Russian language, but actually, so this episode is not related to Russia or that country, Russia or Russian language, but actually, so this. So why I greeted this time using Russian language is that so recently I began to study Chinese language and Russian language. That is because maybe, well, how should I say, maybe you watch television news, so which is why maybe you are familiar with the current or the present situation of the diplomatic problems or international problems, and one of which is Russian problem, which is so there's a ongoing war in Ukrainian territory, and that war is called Russo-Ukrainian War, and which I think is the official name of that war taking place in Ukrainian territory or Donbas region anyway. And another problem is that there may be an imminent war or imminent wars between Taiwan and the mainland China, and that is because actually but actually, so one of the really remarkable events indicating or how should I say, so indicating or showing or clarifying such possibilities of or such likely possibilities of wars between the mainland China and Taiwan is the visit done by Miss Nancy Pelosi, who is an American politician on higher rank or on higher position in the government of the United States of America. So maybe my explanation was complicating so which is why there was a recent visit by Miss Nancy Pelosi who visited Taiwan. So I'm recording this episode in the middle of August in 2022. So which means that visit done by Miss Nancy Pelosi, an American politician, has already been done, which is a situation, and so which is why so the mainland China got outraged, or the mainland China got infuriated by the visit of Miss Nancy Pelosi. So which is why there may be an imminent war, there may be an incipient war, there may be an incoming war, incoming wars, which may happen in the really near future. So which is a present situation. Which is a present situation of this country. So if you think I'm a Taiwanese person, so but actually so I'm not a Taiwanese person. I'm not a Taiwanese person, but Japanese person who lives in Japan. So which is why in this case, so there may be some wars or some war in my neighbor countries or between my neighbor countries. Anyway, so actually, so I explained the current or the present situation I explained the present situation surrounding my country or taking place near my country. But actually this time, so such a how should I say, such a violent or such a turbulent situation. It's not related to the main track of this episode. So let me tell you the title and the conclusion of this episode. The title is Who are Male Masochists? And the conclusion is to know who are male masochists. I'm sorry for my mistaken pronunciation or wrong pronunciation. So who are male masochists? Which is the title of this episode, and the conclusion is to know male masochists or masochistic men from scratch or from the beginning. Please check out this link. And So what I'd like you to do on this time is that, so please, first of all, please take a look at the description column of this episode so that you can find out a link leading to the article, or to the written content I created this time. And so what is explained in that, what is explained, or what is written in that written content, or on that composition is as I told you, who are male masochists. Such a thing is written in that composition. So this time I created a composition this time I created an online composition, which is what I'd like you to know this time. So to access to that online composition I created this time, so please take a look at the description column of this episode, or if it's possible, so you can take a look at, or you can visit the website named Medium, so that you may be able to find out that article I created recently. So anyway, so please seek Richard Gong, which is the name of my account, and so how should I say? So publication. The name of the publication is Work to Live. So which is why which is the same as the name of my podcast. So which is why you can I think you can easily find out the recent article I'm explaining now. Anyway, so what is written is stuff about the explanation of male masochists, and so this time I'm thinking of telling you the target readers of this article. So the target readers are people who want to get basic knowledge about male masochists or masochistic men. So people who are interested in natures of those masochists, and people who need or want to communicate, tease, bully, or torture those masochists, and people who need or want to enslave those masochists or own those masochists as your slaves. Which are the target readers of that composition anyway. So as a mistake I made. So Japanese language use the pronunciation masochist for the English word masochist. So which is why, so sometimes, so particularly in the past episodes of podcast, so I frequently mistakenly pronounced so that word, like so I like explaining the wrong pronunciation. So I pronounced or I frequently pronounced masochist instead of masochist, which is the correct pronunciation of masochist. So such a how should I say, such a mistaken pronunciations occur when I speak English language. So sadomasochism is occasionally pronounced sadomasochism in my mother tongue. Or how should I say? To start with, sadist is mistakenly pronounced sadist in my mother tongue. So which is why, so maybe I frequently pronounce sadist in past episodes of my podcast. Such a things have happened, I think. But actually, so the correct pronunciation is masochist instead of masochist. And so I'm not thinking of reading aloud what is written on that composition, or on that online composition. That is because, so Medium has a function of reading aloud each article. So which is why, so I don't think it's necessary to read aloud by myself. So which is so that function of reading aloud the written articles is really helpful for the creators of those articles, for posting Medium, or posted into Medium. Anyway, so I explained the recent situation and what I did this time. So but actually, so which is why I'm thinking of ending this episode. So anyway, finally, at first, let me tell you why I began to talk about the recent situation of my country, and I'm sorry for for that noise, and because so this residence has many many outside or external noises coming into this residence. So, but actually, so please enjoy this content, or please enjoy this podcast, including those external sounds, or those sounds coming from the outside. Anyway, so the reason why I explained the recent situation. So that is because if a war or wars happen, what begin to take place between Taiwan and China. So roughly saying, this country is going to be involved into, or this country or Japan is going to be embroiled into that war, into those wars taking place between those two Chinese countries. So which is why, so I maybe, how should I say, so conscription. I might be I may be conscripted as a soldier fighting against China, which I think is possible. So which is why, so for recording my thoughts, or for recording my ideas, I got in the past, or in this present time. So which is why, so I'd like to engrave my existence, or what I have felt, or what I have thought into the human history. So which is why this is a kind of a memoir. I'm sorry for my bad explanation of English. I'm sorry for my low proficiency of English language. So which is why such a thing is what I'm thinking. What I have thought recently. So which is why, before actually telling you before actually ending this episode, I'm going to tell you the title and the conclusion of this episode. The title is Who Are Male Masochists? And the conclusion is to know male masochists, or masochistic men from scratch, or from the beginning. Please check out this link. And the title of that online composition, or online writing is Who Are Male Masochists? Is it good to enslave them? Introduction of basic knowledge about masochistic men. So that's it. Thank you very much for listening. See you. And at last, so I changed the title of this episode. So not before. So in the beginning of, not in the beginning. So in the middle of, so or on the way of recording, or creating this episode. So I told you that the title of this episode is Who Are Male Masochists? But actually, so I corrected, or I changed the title, or the name of this episode from what I told you in this episode to the latest title, which is in line with the online composition. So which means, so the title of this episode is Who Are Male Masochists? Is it good to enslave them? Introduction of basic knowledge about masochistic men. So which is the title of this episode. So I modified, or I corrected, or I changed the title of this episode. So so in the middle, or at last, or at the final part of this episode. So I told you the title of this episode was Who Are Male Masochists? But actually, so I added other parts, or other words, which is the same as that of the written version of this episode.